go. Yeah, it's just a bit of a tinkering with more PCs, as you do. But shite. Let's not get into it. Alright, man. No problem. Hopefully you're off for bank holiday Monday. You growing your hair? I need a haircut. Pretty bad. Both beard. But yeah. So tonight we are going to do a bit of a teardown of a build and utilise some parts. And I've been working offline to do some personal projects. Finished one, which is behind me. I've got another one on the go. Yeah. Oh, nice to be missed. Nice to be missed. There you go. So, the plan for today, oh, I'm shattered, but how do you contact me from here? Right, just send me a message on Facebook or Twitter, Instagram, any other way. Right. Hopefully the cameras look alright. Let's have a look. You got no Facebook or Twitter. Not a problem. What's Instagram? You're taking a piss. No, I personally just use it to mainly advertise. Cameras are good. Cool. I'll message you and I'll send you my number. Is there anything that you need? Anything I can help with? While you're here, I'll show you a little build. Switch off to a bigger camera so you can actually see what I'm doing. Side mount. Where are we? Tripod. This is what I've been working on. So it's all finished, just need to do the cables and whack my drives in there. So yeah, nice little machine, been benchmarking it. And not too shabby. Right, so this has served its purpose. I'm going to need that for today. As hopefully you can see. Got this mounted, so hopefully I can see chat, so it should be alright. You've been setting up a cluster of work. It's the future. The future is here. Well, that's a little bit out of my depth, but if it keeps you happy, it's all good. So I am stripping this system because I don't need it anymore. It served its purpose. So I'm selling the parts, but I'm keeping the case because I love this case. A bit of a case holder. Keep me happy, lads. Hey, if I can bring a laugh to anybody, not causing any harm, I'm all good. all good. Did I just put there? I'm sure I have two little plates to go on that, but God knows what to put them. There's one of them. Ah, there we are. Maybe not. Nope. Chuck that away for now. Definitely need the drive, then I've got two drive from this. Little screwdriver somewhere, I think. Right, yes, maybe. No. So use this one. So actually quite happy how this drive performed. Samsung even 970. I benched it. Not too bad at all. I've got the 500 gig version for my Z270 build that was over there, and that's even better. Read and write speeds are spot on. But so I presume you've been busy at work, because I've not seen you about in Twitch. What happened to you streaming, man? Thought you were building something. Or you just run out of it. I really should use a small screwdriver. Nope. That's a flathead. There we go. Hopefully it's magnetic. Oh yes. Make sure I don't lose any of the lose any of the screws, it's fiddly screws. You missed quite a good stream the other night. I was working on my son's PC that I built him 3 years ago. I did a little bit of servicing to it. Work keeps you busy. Learning curve. Horizontal autoscalers. I'll be honest with you, I have no idea what that is. I would love to say, yeah, know what you're talking about, but I have no idea. There we go. I thought it was slide. Yeah, that's cable management there for you. Have to undo it mostly. It is a platform for running contain applications. Righty. We should talk about for a pint or two. Well, I'm always up for a drink. I don't tend to get a chance to do much of it, drinking wise. kind of been these last well, 3 months. About 2 months ago, I finally been working as a contractor for Bentley Motors. So as a contractor, great, you can get all the hours you want, but they can get rid of you within like 24 hours notice, and I've been doing that for about 3 years. I've been working part of a team that builds the interior seats for the Bentayga SUV, and after meeting all the criterias, and I got offered full-time employment there. But there is a catch. Even though I've been working there for over 3.5 years, and the job offer is for the actual work that I'm actually doing, I still have to do a trial, which takes 3 months. And if you make a mistake during those 3 months, they will withdraw the offer and you end up with no job whatsoever. So I'm 2 months in, I've got 4 weeks to go. So June the 4th. So that's been taking a lot of my time because I really want this. But yeah, it's been a long time coming, and one of the main reasons I really wanted is because I work Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays. Fridays I finish at 12. Got every weekend off, every bank holiday. The holidays down at the factory actually closes down, goes inside with the kids, school holidays, and schedule wise it's just perfect. And it's only 3 miles away from where I live. It's really handy, so no commute, no nothing. But with the addition of actually getting full-time employment there, then a lot of opportunities opened up, because Bentley's owned by Volkswagen. Right, so what else do I need? Let's take this off. You know how it is, there you go. The thing is, last year, each year they take X amount of people on, or offer positions, and I missed it, that window, by 4 weeks. So I had to virtually grind away for another 6 months before that opportunity came up, and there was only 50 positions, and luckily I was one of them. He worked with Vauxhall, Rolls-Royce, BMW, Ford, and yeah, so you know what I'm on about. I really have to do all my cable management. That'll be a shame. I don't really want to do that, but oh, okay, never mind. Right, let's get this RAM. So, because I've been busy at work, like you, I haven't had a lot of time to stream, but I've been doing a lot off stream and mainly testing different platforms. And one of them that I came across is a X99 Titanium, and got that working perfectly. I love the X99 platform. I've got quite a few boards, but that one is a beast. That motherboard is fantastic. Right, I need to get the case fan off so I can get the cooler off, and take the board off, and then I can try and fit another board to it. So I've been saving my pennies, especially this year. So I haven't bought any gear, any new generation gear, this year. Apart from peripherals and stuff like that, but nothing major. No RTX, no i9s 9900K. But anyhow, beggars can be choosers, I guess. I'll put a fan on. Hopefully that's not too loud. Let me know. I've got a fan going because I've got an air conditioning unit, but at this time of night it makes quite a fair bit of noise. I don't want the kids to wake up because I'm just above the kids' bedroom. Right, some last screws and the one plug there. I'm moving my finger. One there. That's coming off. Oh. Yes. I don't know if you can see. Oh. Yes, you can see what I'm doing. My GPUs keep dying. You have no idea why. Drivers keep balking. Any idea? What graphics cards have you got? Because the latest NVIDIA driver messed up quite a fair bit. Okay, NVIDIA 1080 Ti is overclocked, I presumed. I mean, I never had any issues. Yeah. What power supply have you got feeding those two? What's the airflow like in the case that you got? Yeah, 1000 watts is plenty, so it's not the power supply, and they water cooled, so it's not temperature related. So it could be the actual card itself. How long have you had them? Is it just when you... Oh, so, hey? You haven't had them for 7 years. That's impossible. Blimey. Well, you were an early adopter then. Well, 7 years for a graphics card. It's not bad. But it could be the actual card itself, so your warranty's out of the window. Is it when you only have issues with the drivers or the cards when they own SLI? Or these days they call it NV-Link. The EATX anyway. Or is it either way, single card or both cards working as one? What does happen? Crash or? So you install operating system, download the drivers, and it's worse. Screen goes blank. You have to restart, then it works. Right. So you're getting no temperature issues, It's not a power issue, so it's got to be a driver issue. Have you tried using older driver? Not the latest ones, like roll the back and do. The only thing I can think is this, the cards work. There's got to be software related. What Windows version are you using? Windows 10 64-bit, I assume. Where can you get older driver from? If you go into 3D Guru as an example, they've got virtually every driver that NVIDIA released. Yeah. And I would check Windows 10, the updates that you've received, because the last two has messed up people's computers, including mine, so I've disabled it. I think it was the October one was deleting people's files, and the second one, like USB drives connected, would not recognize. So yeah, that's the problem. It's quite funny, people used to take the piss out of AMD because the drivers were shit and would never get any often updates. And NVIDIA, people say, well, NVIDIA keeps it up to date. And but because of since the RTX, they've enabled ray tracing on the 1000 series graphics cards, and yeah, they're just messing things up. But virtually, I know why they're doing it, because people with 1000 series graphics cards want to dip their feet on ray tracing on the handful of games that actually support it, and realise that, oh, it's not great, my card's not great enough, so I need to get to RTX. It sounds like it's software, not hardware. One way of ensuring, if you have a secondary PC, but probably a ball ache draining the system, is taking one of the cards and just stick it on another PC. Then you know that's working fine. But that's why I've been using these two to do like benchmarking and all sorts. Yeah, you got 3 GPUs in there. So yeah, I know it's a ball ache, you know, but because you can't RMA it because of the age, you said you've had them like 7 years, so that warranty's gone. But from what you described, it sounds to me most surely it's a software issue. I don't think it would be a BIOS issue of the motherboard. So it's either Windows or the actual driver. So to eliminate the driver, roll back, I would say like four drives versions down. So yeah. So your system got two 1080 Ti's and a GTX 1060. Right. So you got 1080 Ti's and SLI. What do you use the 1060 for then? Are you running like 6-7 screens or something? Oh, I'm just curious. Oh. I know some people use a third card to use the NVEC for encoders to do streaming and all sorts instead of the CPU. Lovely. I am running 234-inch running 4K. Alright, okay. Quite demanding output there. So yeah, I can see why you need a third card. presume once you go to 4K, I'm still at 1440p and I love it personally. Just because then my budget towards graphics cards has to go to thousands of pounds. I saw Overclockers, they finally stocked the HOF editions of the RTX 2080 Ti's and they're asking almost £1,700, and I'm like, yeah, I love those cards. I had the GTX 1080 version of them, 2 of them, but there's no way I am daft enough to pay £1,700 for a card that's actually over-engineered, and unless you're going to use LM2, it's a total waste of features. So that is just my opinion. If you were to get the cheapest RTX 2080 Ti, which is just shy of £1,000, and the HOF, and you whack it into gaming, both are air cooled, I don't think you're going to see a lot of difference. But let's see. Oh, my beautiful cable management. Never mind. One of this on that. Where did I see it? There it is. Sorry if the camera angles are not great, but nothing much I can do about it at the moment. There's fan. Where's the other one? I've been keeping an eye out for the actual predecessor, well, 2 versions, Fractal Design R6. That's the next case I'm looking out for, because it just meets my requirements for future builds. Oh, gotta do that. Oh, when did I do that? Tighten everything now. No. Okay. About a week and a half ago, I helped a guy on Twitch building his first PC. The stream took 6 hours. I joined then, about an hour and a half in, and I could see that he needed help. And to be fair, the guy actually did his research beforehand. Most people don't. He actually read the manuals. But I could see that he needed a bit of help, so I stuck around for like 4.5 hours, and he managed to boot it up first time, which was brilliant. One of the best reactions I ever got. And it wasn't easy, because all we had was a keyboard and chat and a few numbers in there. But I like doing stuff like that. But this time I actually recorded it. I put a little clip on the channel itself here on Twitch. I tend to spend more time on Twitch than on YouTube. I haven't done nothing on YouTube for goodness for how long. Yeah, last week, what was it? Got my boy to sort out his gaming station out. Since I moved to the loft, it's had my old game station, and it absolutely was like a tip. For an 8-year-old, with to learn responsibility. So he did the cable management, cleaned it up, and then later on we came up here, did a stream, cleaned this PC up, all the dust and everything. Like that. It's not bad. Hardly any dust on that. Look at that. Not too shabby. Not too shabby at all. Great cooler. I had the 7700K, overclocked to 5 gigahertz. And this thing hardly made any noise, which was nice. I better keep track of all these screws because I'm going to need them again. Just one more power plug at the top, and we can get the motherboard out. I do like Corsair cases, but I do like the way Fractal Design engineered their cases. Really good. There we go. For a MIDI case, you do pack a lot in. And the R6 is a monster for a MIDI case. The amount of work room you can stick in there, phenomenal. The radiator support and still keep all your bays. That's the reason I got this. It's to replace my Cooler Master EATX case, but I've never got around to it. Right. I hope you can see that. I'm a massive fan of the Fantech fan. Which one? Oh, you're a fan of Fantech. Well, that's one of them. Got a Fantech Evo there, not the Evo X, but the previous version. And that's tempered glass and all that jazz, as they say. Got to admit, I didn't like the Evo X, the cover plates that they have, the sliding cover plates. I thought it was a bit of a, could have come up with a better solution. But lighting and everything, yeah, definitely. I think there's nothing that rivals it really, apart from the Corsair 570X. But it's a dust magnet, but I got that case because it was on sale and it was like on this 45% discount or something like that. I've been playing. The only thing with that Fantech case is they have a sliding shroud to mount the radiator, but the gap between the shroud and the top of the case, oh hello, what's happening? You can't fit a normal size fan. So you either have to mod the case or get super slim. Let's see what's happening. The standoffs. Let's fire off. Which one is it? Let's see what is the top one now. See if I can get a pair of pliers on that. Can't buy dust filters. Oh, this is the front panel. You can see that. That's the front panel of that Femtech case. We've got a little mesh. I won't call it dust filter. If you want dust filters, definitely the Fractal Design. Absolutely well engineered. Especially like sound dampening and dust filters. Be quiet as well. That's another brand, especially the 900 Pro. Over tighten this when I put this in. So hopefully, I can see it coming up. I might have to, I might have to take it off and then undo the castle stander from the rear. Happens sometimes. That's all of them. Can you fit two 480mm radiators, and which one? The Femtech Evolve X or the Fractal Design R6? Because the R6 is a MIDI case. There you go. The board's sorted, and there's the stander. Yeah, put it back. We are 6. Oh. I'll have a quick little gander. You see, when you go to 480s, nah, because it's a MIDI case. For 480s, you need a full. You got the fine S2, but yeah, top radiator 360, front 280. Rear, bottom 280 and rear 120. So that's a lot of radiator space for a MIDI case, to be fair. You always go for 480mm rads on your builds. But personally, that's how I used to be. But then came across some smaller radiators, so I still managed to get the surface coverage that I needed in limited space. Forgot I've got a case for this. Take the back plate, leave the power supply in. I'm going to do a trial fit. Now I've done a trial fit on a MIDI case for a EATX motherboard, and I found that some cases you can't fit them, but the Femtech Evolve can, and hopefully this one can. So that's the plan. Ah, right, you got the Evo full tower. It was a behemoth of a case. and I love the space that you have where the hard drives are, because you can squeeze more radiator space there and at the bottom. So yeah, that's a big sodding case. Still fetching a good price as well. See, one of the biggest bugbears that people have when they have an extended ATX motherboards and they want a small factor case, you're very limited for what you got without modding cases. The problem with this case and the Thumbtack is, I don't know if you can see that, yeah, if they didn't raise that so early, and that's 25 cents, 25, and most ATX are 27, and if they just raised it another 2 across there with that little bit flatter, then I'll be able to just get a more ball that I've got here. Let's see. Now I test fitted that on the from the case, and it just, and I mean just fitted. And there you go. I don't know if you could see that. So it fits, and it's a tight squeeze. The only problem is that under here you've got all the solder points, and the motherboard is resting on the grommet. Now if that makes contact with the actual metal, most cases are aluminium, this one is steel, I think, can't remember, that could be an issue. Plus the grommets don't exactly align, because it's not been designed to support extended ATX. I've ever heard of ATX SSC motherboard. SSC. What's SSC stand for? Sorry, I'm not fully clued up on all the motherboard sizes, but yeah, I think that would fit all right. I'm gonna go for it, I think. I'm gonna see. That's just the test floor. Put a shield on it and see how it looks with the MSI. Oh, blimey. Extended. Okay. Well, I've never seen one. I've never owned one. The biggest motherboard that I had was a EVGA SR2. I think it's X99 chipset. Thumbtack cases were the only ones that could actually fit that in. Well, I presume it's a niche product, so I don't think you're going to have a lot of manufacturers catering for it, but if they If they do, and served your purpose, happy days. Now, I've been testing this with an air cooler, but we're not going to put an air cooler on this. I just want to see. I need to get this wire out. Don't need this wire. Because this is going to be my workstation. So I really only need either an oven on cooler this is my motherboard. There's my head. There we are. Ace's one went in perfectly. This one, I think, is a little longer. I need to go maybe on an angle perhaps. Hold on. That's one. Got the wrong O shield. Noob. Where's the other one? That one. There it is. Didn't take it out when I tested the Thampic case. Well, that explains it, didn't it? Check 2, 4, yeah. That should fit like a glove. There you go. You can see it. Let's have a look. Bloody hell. 33. Fuck me. That's a big board. Server board. Is this a single CPU socket or dual socket? Am I still using NDI? I've been using it to test different games. The only thing that I have is that I've been having massive issues with my network, so I've tested it to record and works perfectly, so offloads the pressure off my main aging PC. Done a couple of streams via NDI and it's actually been pretty good. It just gaming wise, my main gaming machine, even using NDI, and it was going through a quad-core processor. It was okay, but not great. My upload speed is 6, so I can't go above 720p at 60 frames a second. I can't do 1080p at 60. You need 9 to 10. So that's where I'm at. Tested with the 8-core 16-thread CPU and it works quite well, but the new NVIDIA NVEC encoder, quality wise, actually looked better when I was recording and streaming. So it's a useful tool, I've got to admit, but I'm sure there's a lot of settings and everything that and I've updated them all. I've updated OBS, all the NDI plugins, made sure that everything was in sync. Sound come up fine, hardly any delay as well, which is pretty good. But like I said, I hardly stream gaming. I play offline,
because it's like my chill out time. So it might be tight to get the cable for the 24 pin. There's a control unit on this board. So I'm going to screw it down. I don't really need to plug everything in. Let's see. Is it bulging? Shouldn't have any tabs. I think. I'm gonna. I also got the air cooler in there. Might as well put it down. What am I playing at the moment? A bit of variety. To be fair, my boy is the one that uses my accounts most. He's been playing Fortnite, Epic Legends. Personally, I have been playing narrative Shakiro, which is actually quite a decent game. I've unfortunately played Far Cry New Dawn, and that was a big disappointment, pile of crap. Far Cry 5 I quite enjoyed, shame about the ending. And I'm looking forward to the next game I'm going to, comes up on actually my birthday, on the 14th of May. I played the original Rage 2. I just hope they don't mess it up. What about yourself? Do you actually get time to game? Sound like you're virtually flooded with work. I'm not putting that one in there. Yeah, I need to move this because you can see it's not lining perfectly. Really? I actually quite enjoyed it. I thought the AI was a bit thick, but I like the guns. But Borderlands 3, that's another one that's due to come out, but I've just got a feeling that it's just going to be riddled with microtransactions and all that shit. That seems to be every fucking game at the moment. It's a online service, and it's fucking does my head in. You know, a lot of these game developers should take note of some of the narrative games, like Red Dead 2 that come out, made a ton of money. It was a, you know, really good story. God of War, another one. You know, narrative games. And you've got the likes of EA saying, you know, narrative games is not what people want. And yes, it is. It's the reason you don't want them, because you can't milk it for years and years to come with microtransactions. Just have a look at what they're doing with the Star Wars license.
Oh, the promises? Really? Yeah? Yeah. Promises. You see, I would love to believe that. But, with everything that's been going on last year and this year, on, you know, look at Fallout. Look at Fallout 76. They promised there will be no microtransactions linked to progression. And look what they've done. All of a sudden this item showed up, the lockpicks, which you can buy, which will help you in game, which give you an unfair advantage. So yeah, when you look to the developers making promises, there's only one developer. There was two, but one, and that's CD Projekt Red. Game Cyberpunk that I'm looking forward to, hopefully next year. But that's like one, because they are independent. They're not owned by
a third frigging party. So I did saw the live stream of the launch as such of Borderlands 3, and that was a riddled launch, and I couldn't get the playback in 4K. Then they went down to one screen, and then they replayed it again. Yeah, mate, don't get me wrong, it looks good, but time will tell. I wish I used to be a believer, but at the moment the direction where everybody's going is, oh, look at EA, they're making $1 billion a year on FIFA alone, and look what that cost them. Can't even sell the Ultimate Team in countries like Belgium. It's been banned by the government because it's considered gambling, which it is. But yeah. What games are you looking forward to then? Anything in particular? Wow, you've got friends in nice places then. You have a friend that works at EA. Souls and members of EA, so microtransaction is the future. Yeah, well, the previous CEO said that too, and he left soon after. Hopefully he didn't go to Visceral Games. If you want the perfect example of what EA is all about, you had the main woman who was in charge of the writing of one of the most successful narrative stories, Uncharted, working on a Star Games narrative story, and they ploughed a lot of effort into it, showed it off to EA executives. The executives turned around and said, well, where's the microtransactions? Later on they acquired Visceral Games and took all the IPs and took some of the staff and made everybody else redundant. So Visceral no longer exists, and everything that they've touched, if I'm honest, you know, since they did that deal with Disney for 10-year license on Star Wars, just look at the mess. But oh yeah, I need to swap the drive. What is that in there? Awesome. Gonna be in the coffee soon. Hey, fuck SimCity. I'll never forgive him for that. I'll tell you what have I been playing? Tropico 6. I actually enjoy that. I don't know. No issue. Got the room to stretch it. Sorry if the view is not great. Unfortunately, I don't have the height to mount these cameras, so I'm kind of limited to where I can put them. But I'm 6 foot tall, and this is a loft, so that's why I tried to have a side camera. 8-pin. Why don't you click it? That's why. Bended. You completed it. I thought you didn't have time. Alright, I'm still at it. Make Warrior 5. Also, what happened to the aircon unit? What do you mean? If you talk about the aircon unit I've got here on the loft or something else? I don't need to connect everything up at all. I can put a basic graphics card in there and try and run it off. Yeah, I've got it. It's there. Except under there is my boy's room, and it's coming to 10 a night, and it's quite a powerful unit. So I only got it mainly for the summer. But what I've been noticing, because I did some insulation before putting these boards up, when temperature slightly rises, it's quite warm. So I just put a fan when I'm working up here and not streaming. But yeah, that's mainly for the summer, and I don't have to put it on long, but it is quite loud. So that's the reason why. Right, I'm going to get a tiny little graphics card. Gotta get a Mini GTX 1060, and I might as well feed that from the bottom. Don't need all the USBs to be connected because I'm just going to test this. Yeah, when I was looking for a quiet aircon unit that can dissipate the heat of a room of this size, for the privilege of having it quiet, because it's got a compressor, doesn't matter how well built it is, it's still going to make noise. And it was like £200 above the model that I was after, and the decibel was only like 5 decibel lower, and I thought, like, £200 more for something that's only that amount quieter. It just didn't seem value for money for me. Maybe there is people out there that will pay a premium for that, but I wasn't one of them. Right, so I'm going to move the slot down. I'm going to put card on the primary. I'll tell you one thing that I did spend a lot of time making sure that the system that I built is super quiet, and I mean super quiet, even under load. And that's because I use airflow fans on the radiators, and I fine tune each fan so I can have it under load and you can't even hardly hear it, including the pump as well. So you've got a water cooled system. I don't know how low. Did you spend a lot of time ensuring it's for silence, or you just wanted the cooling performance of a water cooling system? What fans? Actually, I'm using at the front. I've got some Corsair airflow fans, super quiet versions, and that was working quite well with the MSI board. But yeah, but I do have Noctua fans
my air cooled PC, which is the streaming off. It's got a Noctua cooler, and I've got a Aero Cool fans on it. The loudest thing, because I've got a friend of mine pawned this graphics card to me and buy it back later on. The loudest thing in my system is the actual bloody reference NVIDIA Pascal card, the Titan X. It's got a shit cooler. But I would have cooled a second Titan on that machine, so I don't have those issues, or won't have those issues for much longer. I got to admit, I've become, because I've insulated this so well, I've become quite astute to noise. So it's like I had a couple of old Western Digital green drives that used to spin up randomly, so I put them on like energy saving mode so they don't spin at all until they're needed to. So I presume you've got static pressure fans on it, so for performance. Do you know the difference in temperature in a 480mm radiator with static pressure fans and the same radiator with airflow fans, cooling off, what did I add? 3 GTX 680s, 4GB cards, all overclocked on a 6-core 12-thread CPU, and that was all dumping the heat on a 480mm radiator. And the temperature difference with static pressure fans, right, under load, was between 4 and 6 degrees. And the noise levels, yeah. So it's a balance between, if you want the absolute cooling performance, max, and you don't care about the noise, then yeah, static pressure fans. But for me, now, especially now, what I'm doing, and I've got the loft. Oh, okay, that's not even a screw. Nope. It's going to be hanging about. Yeah, airflow fans. The development they've gone on fans has been phenomenal. Did you see the? I don't know. Do you watch Linus Tech Tips? Did you see that the little test that they did with Corsair all-in-one water coolers versus a Noctua mid-range cooler? The actual Noctua $60 cooler, because it's been engineered and well developed over the years, I think it was called D12 something, outperformed a 120mm, a 240 and a 280mm and a 360mm all-in-one cooler, all by Corsair, by I think it was like 3 to 4 degrees. So yeah, so sometimes it depends on the brand, but yeah, I've got to admit that they Noctua do decent air coolers, hence why I've got one in mine. Noise blockers, yeah, decent one, yeah, very good. Yeah, noise blockers, very decent. I mean, if you've got the money to spend, and if, now they do the chroma, which is black, the Noctua ones, yeah, superb, the bearings on it. Corsair do the magnetic ones as well, the magnetic ML Pros, they're decent. The advantage with those is when, even if you ramp up the speed, there isn't much of an increasement of noise. So for like water cooling builds, pretty good. If you like that RGB stuff, but they do also the standard ones and some without lights. So yeah. How far have I got?
guess I'll put the rear fan. So on to the testing. I'll have to find where. Oh, blimey. Okay. Problem with having big hands. Not great. I can't even hear the music. Is the music still playing, or is it? I have 1060. My computer, man, it's nice. Beast of a little card. What make and model do you have? All right, music is gone though. All right, that's fine. I just prefer chatting with you than listening to music at the moment, but thanks for keeping me company. EVGA. Which one? Just the standard one or the SC? Because I've got quite a few of. Where are we? Yeah, SCs. I also got Asus. Overclocked versions of it. Yeah, I've got that one. And you might notice that's the card. So that's your card then. That's what I've got in the system. I did a build for a client and with the standard version, not the SE or the mini one. But I got to admit, for 1080p gaming, not too shabby. Can't complain really. Really, I've got to take the. See, that's why I hate having big fucking hands. I've got to take the RAM stick so I can plug in the fan. I might not even be able to get it. So long nose pliers come in handy. Yeah, right, great minds think alike then. Now, I went through a stage of quite a lot of people were asking for 1080p gaming systems, so I do have quite a few. And I keep all the empty boxes as well of any of the builds that I've done, so if a client needs to RMA a part, because I bought it, I can RMA it on their behalf, so I don't have to deal with the hassle. Plus I have a spare, so they don't lose any gaming time as such, or downtime. You know how it is. I know I don't want to do cable management, but I can't help myself. Especially when pulling the fan. The thing is, this got space for a 140mm fan. But it's only temporarily anyway. Only temporarily. Knowing my luck, I'm going to start this up on a short circuit because probably some solder's touching the back. It won't be the first time I've done that. But anyhow. So you're not tempted to upgrade your monitors to the latest Asus offering? Are you quite happy with your dual 34-inch behemoth? That's a lot of real estate monitor space you've got there. I'm still rocking my Korean 27 inches. which finally I managed to get 3 of the same. So when I do surround sound car racing, it's actually not too bad. Stretches a bit on the side, but anywho, nothing has much changed since your last visit here, because like I said, I've been concentrating on work. I haven't had much time to do anything over here structural wise. Hooked up some old speakers I had, so actually you can listen to music up here without stick with Dell. Well, I can't afford those sort of things. That's why I sold it to you. My my setup that I have, my triple screen, it's probably worth half the price of what you paid for one. And you know what? It'll do me. It'll do me. So yeah, a man of simple tastes. And I never like to waste money. For myself anyway. Kids first. Family first. Right, so I've got a feeling that I might have noticed an issue, but I've got a workaround. 12 pin ain't gonna fit through that grommet, is it? Oh, it might do. Might have to cut it. Oh, there's my cable. Yeah, that's what I thought. I have to take the grommet. Give me space to feed it through. Yeah, looks like it. Like I said, this is a bit of a test. I'll show you what I mean. What was my fear? See that? Can you see those solder points? That's the risk. Like I said, this case wasn't designed for it, for this type of motherboard, but right, little trick. So we're going to put the grommet through the wire, then the wire through the hole, if it doesn't fit, will I be able to bend it? I might have to use extensions, because that's quite thick and that's not going to bend, is it? Yeah. Luckily, I've got some cable extensions that might be slimmer, might fit through there. Question is, why the hell did I put cable extensions? This might do the trick. It's pretty flexible. And hopefully, where do I need to go? I need to go in. Yeah. There we go.
sort that later. Hopefully. It's going to be the other way around. Hey, BK, how you doing? Thanks for popping in. You doing tricks? Not quite. After a bit of a workaround, I'm trying to fit an extended motherboard for a case that was not being designed for. So it's a bit of a trial and fit and error. But tested the board, so I know it's working. But I just want to make sure. You don't know these things until you fit them in to see if actually, with everything in, will it actually work. Well, thanks for popping in. It's nice of you. I don't think I wasted time here. There we go. Got to admit, I enjoyed your stream the other day, and hopefully you managed to sort that young man with the biking gear, or not. Up you go, come on. You want to go in there. There we go. Like I said, it's only temporary. Alright, I'm not going to bother with all the cables, so time to power this up. Let's see if it actually yeah, the guy that's doing the time trial with this borrowed bike. Right, I need hopefully he'll reach. And we've got HDMI. We're going to need a mouse, spare keyboard, actually, move you out of the way. Not straight. Well, this could be either a success or a very expensive mistake. But like I said, we can only try. Into the cable, internet. Power cable. The advantage of having this board is that it's got its own power button. Don't actually grow and cry. No, I don't cry when I make mistakes. I cry if I don't learn from them, but no. Alright, so we've got power to the board. That's good news. Now, shall I move the Have I got that plugged in yet? Here we go. Now what code is it going to give me? Come on. Come on. Don't give me D6. Don't give me the 6. There you go. There we go. Still thinking about it. See, I'm using a memory kit that should work for X99 platform, because the GPU, not the CPU, sorry, the default memory controller is a 2133 DDR4. I'm actually using 2800. Give me 30. That's a reboot. Don't give me 30. Well, still thinking. Come on. Yeah. Yeah, the screen will come on when it's done this thing. So what I'm going to do is reset. Click colors. And that should. Let's start again. Yep. So I've got output to the screen over here, so but I know when it's cycling through the memory codes, if I get certain ones, I mean, I've got a kit of 2666 which I can down clock, but for whatever reason this is a quad kit which worked fine on the Asus motherboard, and I got it to work before. But if it's giving me, yeah, D6. Yeah. The dreaded D6. Right, we can try the memory button, which is down there, I think. Let's see my light. Amount of light. There is post, because I did it before, and it's the RAM. So if we look up there, where's the switch reset? OC1. I even managed to overclock it to 4.8. Manual. Let's see if they have a memory button like the Asus board. Should have one, but right, so power off. Right, that is
boost. Don't want that. What I want is so BIOS, flash, clear CMOS. Oh, they wanted jumper. Ah. Okay. It doesn't have a memory OK button like the Asus boards. Got XMP LED and it's got a retrying button. Are you humming White Stripes? How did you know? Yes, I am. I've been listening to it before stream. Why? What's wrong with Stripes? Seven Nations. Let's see, retry. This is that one. Oh, you seen him? Look at you. Look at you. Right, don't give me a D6. Gonna retry. There it is. Well, I reset the BIOS to default before I finished with it, so none of the overclocking. I didn't save the profiles. D6. Try again. LED light flashing as before. 138. Might have to try a different RAM kit then. I wonder why. Yeah, D6 again. Mars is really fair. Right, I'm going to take memory modules off and leave one and see. Right, so what? And then one first slot on the left. Okay. Power off. Okay, power. Because it's still loaded. Still residue power. One more time. There we go. So we're going to take this one. This one. try it, and then we'll put a dual mode word using lower frequency RAM kit. Let's see how we're doing. Press clear CMOS. Press and hold twice. Wait. So will it give me the same? D6. Definitely the RAM. Gonna start again. Yeah. Dual mode will be alright, dual mode is only one side. Okay. We'll try. Not having it. So you should settle for blooming code before. Nope. Alright. Off. You're gonna get fuel. Now. Battery that I need to remove. You know, under the graphics card, but leave that as a last resort. Right. Get 60 again. Oh, that was a bit disappointing.
Right, removing the battery for the BIOS. I'm really surprised the board of this caliber does not have a memory OK button. So once you press it, it will cycle through the frequencies which are stable for the actual chipset. The funny thing is, I just whacked on quad channel 2800 DDR4 kit and it just worked. Went default to 2133, enable XMP, and it was fine. Well, that's giving me an A1 now. Right, got multi-bias, got two biases. Bias A is default, which is at the bottom little switch. Which is where? There. Right. So bias 2. Nope, D6 again. Resistance. Maybe it's the RAM sticks. Try a different slot. Yeah, we will try each slot. But the thing is, I had it up and running today on this Corsair kit, which is on the qualified list. So I was like, okay, that's the reason I went with the quad channel board, because I wanted quad channel. So there's no much point having a quad channel board if you can't use it as intended. And it works fine with the Aces. Aces, you can put the 3200. I had problems with it, but I updated the BIOS and it worked fine. Yeah, D6 once again. So, that off. And just to make sure. That off. One stick. Just tend to hold residual power for a long time. It's not an Asus. Yeah, you know me well. I am an Asus man, but
cautious trying different brands, EVGA and MSI. So, okay, so if I take this one off, and do it the opposite way, just the one. I'm going to take the graphics card out. I'm going to remove the battery. So the board will be back to default settings as from the factory. Did you intend for your shirt to match the chair? No. This is something that I had a long time. You know, you always have a jumper at home that doesn't matter what you're doing, you always put it on. So I've had this, goodness, for how long. But to be fair, go back when we started this channel, our colour scheme was blue and orange. I had the blue chair and my so-called partner, a gentleman called Richard, he got himself the same chair but in orange. For this. And he's very kindly donated it to my little boy. So there goes the thumb screw. So yeah, hence why my sound deafening material is orange and black. So well, my associate, as such, used to live in the same area as me, and he was doing computer science, doing a degree in computer science, and that was the reason we started this channel, because he didn't know nothing about computers, and I did. So I decided the best way to get him to understand about computers was to get hands on, and that's why we started the shed. And he did this course and managed to finish it, and then he met a girl and moved up 100, well, about 80 miles up north, so I hardly see him. And we tried to continue the channel, but the channel's purpose was to help him, so managed to help him. And that's why I stopped, and then kind of restarted. But he's got 2 kids, and he's got his own life, and you know, we kind of not departed paths. We're still friends, but not do content together. So no, this doesn't have a memory button. Anyway, take battery off, put it back in. Yeah, my other partner in crime, we used to do podcasts together every 2 weeks, was a guy called Andrew. He's got his own YouTube channel called AJ Atomica. He used to do a lot of gameplays, but again, he lives 120 miles away from me, and he's moved in the countryside where his internet is non-existent. He can't even upload anything, and you know, like a 10-minute video will take him like 2 hours. So he stopped doing content, and we kind of came up and visited me, stayed over for the weekend, which was nice. Kind of thinking a little bit of PCs and consoles and all sorts. But it's like one of those things. People move on. Like for me, this has always been a hobby, so I'll just carry on. You know, I'm glad that I managed to help somebody get a degree, and hopefully you'll put it to use. And that's the problem. You go to the expense and in debt to get a qualification, and you spend ages trying to find a job to actually use it. But that's life, isn't it? I prefer to be more hands-on. Unfortunately, I didn't go to university. I think I got to the point of doing advanced business and finance, and I just wanted to work and earn money. And that's what I've been doing since the age of 13. Well, this will be the last little attempt. We'll see. I may have found a source of content last night. Went to a bike caught me last night and met lots of good people that want to be involved. As a mechanic, they were eyeballing me all night. Of course. I've noticed that when you become an asset when someone wants something. Right, is it going to give me D6? I might have to figure this one out off stream, but kind of puzzled that a couple hours beforehand, I got to admit I was overclocking the board, and I went from 3.5 gigahertz to 4.8. I wasn't putting on the load, but just under the bias. So with XMP on at 2800 megahertz, so he's cycling through the codes, but it's not sticking. It's not sticking. Power off. No, goes on to power off. Really? Okay, that's stuck in the loop now. Okay. The delights of tech, eh? Don't you just love it? They looked at me like I was a slice of chocolate cake. Well, of course. Who wouldn't? If you got somebody with a wealth of knowledge and technical ability, and eventually it's what everybody dream of, to have somebody like that can just see it from a different perspective and sort the problem out. Just, oh yeah, and they probably won't be able to come to a solution. Well, you can see the solution, obviously. It's nice to be wanted sometimes, but I'm glad you found more people to make more content. 1955, 60, 19, yeah. Stuck in the loop. Cookie. That is frustrating. Right. I tried it with that. That didn't work. That didn't work. I'm going to try just one more time. One more time. Well, I think the main question that I was asking here was that if I could fit a extended ATX motherboard on a Midi case. Well, the answer is yes. Yeah, definitely a great way to see how to teach by streaming. Test it out on a blank canvas audience. I'm sure there's lots of people keen to learn. Oh, we've got a 16 now. Oh, 4F. 9, 30. 62. Donga Midi 699. Hey! Hello! Ta-da! Has it recognised 8 gig? It has. So, by default, so it's not a temperature issue. You can see that. Hopefully you can see it. So, 36 degrees in the CPU, motherboard 2930, and it's a 2133, as it was before. I've got the old BIOS. Right. Oh, wrong mouse. Too many mouses. Got XMP on. We want to go to advanced. Thank you. Save and reboot. Let's see if it will go into might have to stick with 2133. There you go, go straight in. Alright. Should have M.2 enabled. Now an Asus F8 boot menu. Not seeing storage. AC mode. So now it's running at the proper speed. That'll give it a bit of an uplift. 2014. Yeah, nope. Well, I did reset it to PSI, Gen, auto.
definitely preferred the buyer's layout on the Asus boards, but that's just personal. Hold on. Nope. Nope, nope, nope. Nope, nope. Tell me about the PC. Whom or what is it for? Actually, it's for me, but it's not final specs. It's a workstation, a video rendering workstation. So I am planning to make some of my hard drive redundant and have a separate system for video work, video editing, photo editing, and I have a 5960X 8-core 16-thread processor on the X99 platform. I've got multiple boards at the moment. This is an MSI X99X Power, but you might be looking that I'm going to go with the Asus Rampage Extreme, because it seems to be a bit more friendly with the memory. But yeah, it's so I've got this to finish off still, but just wondering why it's not recognising it. Anyway, but I'll leave that. I'll have a tinker with that. But what I'm trying to do is, I've got loads of massive cases. I've got another one of those which I could use, but I wanted to condense it so I can have two PCs up on the top. And having MIDI cases, I've got two MIDI cases. I've just stripped a system that was on here to put just to test fit this one, and then I've got another MIDI case down there that fits the Asus board. Might not have a lot of space for like custom water cooling. I might have to go for a small all-in-one cooler just for the processor, and the graphics card's going to be an air-cooled graphics card. It's for rendering, it's not for gaming or anything like that. But yeah, that's basically it. A little bit annoyed it took me almost so long to, but it's going to come out because I'm just having air coolers just to test it. But I've got two of these chips that have been sitting on for God knows so long. But yeah, that's this project, and then there is an updated project that I want to do, but I don't have the funds for it yet. But that one is going to be a bit of a prototype, so time will tell. Right, I think it's time for a coffee. I have done what I wanted to do. The other case is over there. That's for the Asus board. That can go. The thing is, I tend to start a project and get so far, and then I'll see something, oh, I'll get that one on a go, and I'll get this on a go, and then I'll run out of time and not actually finish any of them. So it's a habit, it's a bad habit that I have, but I'm just glad I don't have that to work. So I've been thinking about a new PC for the studio, nothing fancy, but I like to use a APU and leave another PSI slot for a quad bus USB card. Also I'm considering making outside air intake for it to keep the dust out. Yeah? Okay, possible. What's the purpose for the PC? What are you going to be using it for? Is it to add more cameras? Right, I'm going to get a coffee really. I need more caffeine, and then I'll be back, and then I'm going to firstly do the similar process, but in a different case, different board, but with a all-in-one cooler. I'll see how we get on with that, and hopefully we won't have any memory issues. But there you go. But you know, it's always nice to have a visit by you, BK. Much appreciated. And Stelly has been keeping me company and putting the world to right. Just a bit of ducking really. New person for streaming. Okay. Built 24 mini PC for the wife and it was great. Built in 10 seconds. Yep. Good system. I saw the stream. I saw but if you want to feed direct air, I mean, you've got massive space. You know, I'm quite envious of your space, to be honest. But yeah, just some air ducting, and you can even put, if you think about it, you could put a fan either on one end, sucking air, so you have some nice airflow coming straight through. But does it get dusty on your garage? Sorry, studio. Sorry, keep forgetting. Got my music gone. Oh no, where's my Spotify gone as well? Yep, I closed it. Okay, right. Yeah, an inline blower. When I was doing the conversion here, this was dusty as hell. I bought it from eBay. It's not industrial, but I think the main purpose that they use these things is people who grow cannabis, and they need air feed into it, so air circulation. So I saw this motor, and it was pretty cheap, and the fan was quite loud, but it was an inlet and outlet, and you could attach a certain diameter, 120 or 140, I think 180 mil duct tubing to it. So what I did, well, especially when I was sanding the plasterboard, I had one of those sucking the air out of the room, so outside of my front house, and I still got it. There was this white plume of white dust coming from the hole that I did for the air conditioning unit, and then I didn't realize how much, because then when I finished, I went outside, my grass, the neighbor's hedge, was just powdered in white, which is just normal you know, plaster dust, but I didn't realise how much. It looks like someone just burst bags of cocaine. But I've got to admit that was a lifesaver, because it did push a lot of air, and I think it was only like £30, which is about 25, yeah, around 25, 28, $28. But it is quite loud, so I made the box for it just to minimise the noise, because yeah, this is quite a small space. But yeah, a lot of inline fans are marketed to cannabis growers. Yeah, I did speak with my neighbour and I said, "Oh, by the way, if you hear some funny noises and stuff coming out of my my ceiling, I'm doing a conversion, nothing to worry about." But yeah, right. I'm gonna have a little break, so I'm gonna be right back. Quick 5 minutes and get a coffee, because I'm totally dried out. So, boom. There you go. I didn't realise the time is 10 past midnight already. So I might have to stream again tomorrow and carry on. But hey ho. I did want to show you something. It's because I'm a big steak lover, and my sister lives in the States and we've been there a few times. Went to a few steakhouses, but in the UK, quite hard to find a decent steakhouse. But we found one and we loved it so much we went again, took my family out there. I'm gonna see if I can actually find it. We went to this place and they did this amazing meat platter, and with this meat platter to share, I had absolutely everything: brisket, ribs, you name it. And I did film it somewhere, but God knows where I've put it. Not a memory card. Got way too many drives. No, thought I had it saved. Well, tomorrow definitely have a bit of time in the evening, so I'm definitely going to be streaming again. this will load up. I really need to download all the stuff from my phone. Clear some of the space. That's the thing these days. You take so many pictures and then you forget you've took them. You don't hardly print anything out. Well, before digital cameras on film, every time you took pictures, you have to get them developed. I'm showing my age now. Anybody been following Game of Thrones? You're looking forward to episode 4? Way too many windows opened. This is a place that we went and we had a wonderful meal. I'll try to find it. I'll just have a look. So my brother had pulled pork, or a girl with bits and bobs. My mum had a full slab of ribs. It was just phenomenal. Way too much for her. My boy was being healthy. Slice of tomato, but she was sharing the meat platter with me. And this meat platter was just like pulled pork, brisket, chicken, absolutely everything. And that's one of the best meals I had in a long time. So I thought I'd share that with you. To be fair, for an American themed steakhouse. They did a pretty good job. Plus it was an open kitchen, so you could actually see them cook. But yeah. Anyway, I am gonna end the stream because one, it's getting late, and two, I prefer to spend a bit more time on building the second trial system. And tomorrow night I'll start a little bit earlier because I started almost near 10 o'clock. So hopefully I'll have a bit more time. I'll try not to stream more than 2 hours. Just because then when I archive the footage I can actually clip it because I'm not recording this at the moment. And I did lose some past videos because one, I didn't archive it and didn't record it, which was a bit of a shame. But hey ho, I say thank you for popping in and keeping us in company. And Stelly will send you my number, so if you want to message me at any point, if you're in the area, I don't know where area you're from, but definitely welcome to go to the beer dock for a pint at any time. Alright, so until next time, which will be tomorrow, if you're about, pop in. If not, not to worry, you can always catch up on the stream later on. So thanks very much and have a good night.